Guys, today is a very interesting video. And I told y'all straight up, now I was dropping some heat, man. Some major heat. So I've looked at a lot of things, guys. And I still have a ton of research that I'm going to be sharing with y'all until it's all shared. But in today's video, this is for those of y'all who are really bent on having Trunks in the DLC. I have a way that this DLC could potentially work that could even lead directly into Goku Black if they so wanted to do that. So without further ado, guys, excuse me, let's go. All right, so guys, before I get into this, shout out to Geovic, the legendary subscriber himself. He sent me some in-game screenshots of Android 21 talking in the various locations, and I'm gonna run through those real quick, and I'm getting into the Trunk stuff. And I'll make a timestamp for this in case y'all don't want to see this and you want to jump straight into the Trunk stuff. I'm gonna put a timestamp in the pinned comment down below for you guys. So that ain't it. Guys, this is the catalyst. I'm gonna tell you straight up, the time machine is the catalyst for what I'm gonna get into today. But Android 21, she's here. This is I think this is the Majin Buu site. She said, I've heard rumors of people having seen an alien life form in this area. No, that's not the Majin Buu site. It's a different site. But that's what she's saying to Goku here. Of course, rumors are just rumors. And that's the same one. Says and this is the one where you're at Korin's Towers. This is what she says here. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna just close out of these because I don't need to have all these tabs open, because when I go through them, I'm going through them. In Korin's Towers, she says the legends passed down here of a hermit blank blank blank. Is there more to them than I thought? So she knows something. What does she think? What is she thinking? And how does she know what she know? And this is her at the Dr. Gero lab. Under the debris appears to be, oh, never mind, please ignore me. Oh, yeah, because you saw us right there. So now you want to be like, oh, ignore me. Appears to be what? She knows something, dog. And this is her at I think where Raditz and them landed. This is a rather impressive crater. Perhaps something from outer space created it. Perhaps. Why would you assume that, though? You know? I'm conducting a survey of the area as per Dr. Brief's request. Something ain't right, dude. And this is her in the archipelago area. There's nothing left. I suppose that makes sense, though. And then she see us and it's, oh, are you here conducting some field work as well? No, we see you, Android 21. This natural environment lends itself well to some very fruitful research. Interesting. And then she's in the city here. She says, this is where the mountainous region, Vegeta now. There were reported sightings of a giant ape. I wonder. What do you wonder, Android 21? My bad, female researcher. What do you wonder? What are you wondering? You wonder what? Guys, she knows something. She knows something. She says, oh, you found me in a rather strange place, haven't you? Yeah, all around the world, girl. I occasionally venture out this way to gather materials for my research. You ain't got to lie, Craig. And then this is the Cell area. She says here, given Cell's extraordinary power, it's highly unlikely that Mr. Satan was the one who defeated him. How does she know? Because I know people are going to say, well, DM, she was there. But like I said in yesterday's video, we don't unlock Android 21 early until after the Android. So, yeah, she would have been there for sale. And then we unlock her regular if you didn't pre-order it at the Buu Saga. So, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Extraordinary power. It's highly unlikely that Mr. Satan was the one who defeated him. But here's the thing, guys. She's with us, so she should know. You see what I'm saying? She should know. Oh, please don't tell any of his fans I said that. I can only imagine how irate they'd be with me. And then this is her at Grandpa Gohan's little place. It seems Son Gohan, the legendary martial arts master, is no longer here. How does she know him? Nobody asking that question, bro. How does she know him? And if she knew him, she would know that he's not there. See what I'm saying? It seems Son Gohan, the legendary martial arts master, is no longer here. No duh. You didn't know that? Something ain't right, dude. Something ain't right. That's all I'm saying. How unfortunate. I would have liked to have met him. You would have liked to have met him or stolen his abilities? Something in it. Why would you want to meet Grandpa Gohan? You know what I'm saying? See, and that's all I'm saying, guys. It's something up. Like, they're not putting this there for no reason. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be for a reason. So, I'm at the 5-minute, 45-second mark. Let's get into this, guys. Trunks. Everybody, well, not everybody. A lot of people want future Trunks in the game. They want Goku Black in the game. They want this and that in the game. Guys, I'm going to tell you a way that we can easily get Trunks in the game while adding a new story that has never been played and opening the door for Dragon Ball Super as well. Okay, so we know about Trunks' timeline. We know that after defeating Cell in the Android Saga, battle armor, and then he defeated Cell and it ends there. We don't ever see him go back. And that was the moment in a different timeline that Cell was going to kill Trunks, but the Trunks that he came across was the strong Trunks, not the weak Trunks who hadn't trained. Take the time machine, blase, blase. Remember, Cell was able to kill him. But Cell told them in the past that he knew that you know, they asked him, and that's how Trunks knew that Cell was going to come and steal the time machine. See? Okay, so fast forward into Trunks' timeline. So I don't know if Trunks ever came back to our timeline after that because they never said anything and it never showed anything, not to my recollection. Because after the Cell Saga, the Buu Saga started and we didn't see Trunks at that time. Kid Trunks was born. He was about 8, 9 years old during the Majin Buu Saga. But in Trunks' timeline, guys, there was a period of peace. And then guess who showed up? Yes, Babidi shows up in Trunks' timeline. We know this from the Dragon Ball Super fight between Trunks and Goku, where they kind of he tells them about fighting Dabura and Babidi. But what happens, guys, they don't go into a lot of detail about it. He just says that it was a tough fight. Supreme Kai trained them, prepared them for it, and it was a tough fight, and they ended up winning. But Dabura was able to kill Supreme Kai and Capito Kai, which led to the death of Beerus, because if the Supreme Kai dies, then the God of the Universe, which opened the door for Goku Black and them to come in. But, guys, that is a very interesting storyline. Yes. Guys, I'm going to put a link to this video in the description box down below because I ain't trying to get copyrighted for showing none of this. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? In the manga version of all of this, this is where it gets super dope, man. Yes, you're looking at a actual thing that happened. Trunks yielded the Z, training Trunks, and he yielded the Z sword. You can go through here and play 8 minutes long, but it is full of information. And I'm going to spoil it for you. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, okay? But you still need to go and see it because the dialogue is there and you need to see what I'm saying. So Trunks is yielding the Z sword, and they're pretty much saying the same thing they said about Gohan. I've never seen a human yield the Z sword in such a way. And what happens is the same thing that happened with Gohan. Supreme Kai was about to verse, but before he got a chance to, Kabito Kai is alerted, I guess by his senses, that Babidi was on the move. So Trunks never Mystic Trunks or whatever, you know, or Power Unleashed Trunks, whatever you want to call it. But in Trunks' timeline, and this is the same Trunks that fights against Goku, the Z sword, they'll be able to defeat Dabura and Babidi, no sweat. Fast forward, Supreme Kai and Kabito Kai is getting the paws put on them, dog. They getting the paws, they getting the skibbity paps. That's what they getting, guys. Dabura, I'm fast forwarding a little bit. Y'all can go here and look at all the details. Dabura kills Kabito Kai with the same blast that he did in the Buu arc for the skibbity paps put on him. But and an interesting thing happens before that though. Right there, I was like, okay, it's shattered. So why didn't Supreme Kai come out? Or Elder Kai power when they're enraged. Long story short, they underestimate Trunks, and Trunks put the in. Dabura summons that little spear that he can summon, and he's about to throw it at Trunks, and then all of a sudden he's frozen in place. Supreme Kai is not dead yet. Yet. because we know he dies. He freezes Dabura, and at that point, when he froze Dabura, and Babidi, he tells Trunks, now, do it now. Trunks uses his Finish Blaster, and he destroys both, or Finish Buster. He destroys both Dabura and Supreme. Then, after that's all done, Supreme Kai succumbs to his injuries. And that's that. DM, why is this interesting? Why should I care about this? Because if you go and watch this, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, guys. It's a very interesting thing happens. Remember when I told y'all that right here, when he was finna throw, I'm gonna go to the actual scene where he was finna throw it appears time has finally come, you know. Babidi is on the move. Supreme Kai, look, he was finna throw that brick. So on the train, even though we know it really didn't happen like that in the manga, I'm just opening a door for Kakarot to, they can say, oh, Trunks was out of his timeline, so he wasn't there in time. They had to rush the training with the Z sword, and that's why it didn't break. That's why Elder Kai didn't come out blase blase. It's because of this, the actions of Bulma creating a time machine to bring Trunks to the future. That way, guys, while we don't get the full history of Trunks, they could easily do that in like a reflection kind of thing, same way they do with Frieza or whatever, like in Golden Frieza, where they kind of flash back to the events leading up to that. They can do that same thing for that part of the history of Trunks, but then we could add, or we get some kind of call that we need to come back to the future, and we go and where we go to Elder Kai's planet and we're training, and then we get to fight Dabura. We go Super Saiyan 2. That will equal a new transformation for Trunks, so a lot of people would already be happy with that. We would get a prequel to the history of Trunks, or a leading thing that what led up to that particular moment. Even though we don't get to play, it'd be still cool to lead up to that moment. You know what I'm saying? But we'll actually get to do it. He dies in age 784. Guess who shows up in 785? A year later as the catalyst to get into the Goku Black arc. But before Goku Black, there's a year between that. So there's more. After Trunks completes this, let's say Trunks comes back to this present timeline to let everybody know how everything. We have 3 people roaming around who we know nothing about right now. Dr. Gero is still alive and roaming around because we revived him with the Dragon Balls. His lab is still there and talking about his plans and stuff. We don't know what his plans are, but he has something planned. And Android 21. What do all 3 of them have in common, guys? This right here. Well, Android 21 doesn't, but I think this is the catalyst. Babidi is looking for something, guys. Dragon Ball Shin Budokai, I think that's the name of it. It was a PlayStation Plus, a PSP game. I think it's called Dragon Ball Budokai, or Dragon Ball Shin Budokai. Go check Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, Kid Trunks, Goten, Android 18, Krillin, Chaozu, Yamcha, and Tien. The exact same playable characters we have right now in Dragon. And they are trying to revive Majin Buu, where they are actually successful in reviving Majin Buu. Not only are they successful in reviving Majin Buu, but Majin Buu actually disobeys the Namek, and he gets the Namekian Dragon Balls and wishes for, guys, that, long story short, Broly shows up, Cooler shows, but it gets better. Babidi makes clones of all the Z Warriors. Does that sound familiar? That sounds like the same thing that Android 21 does. And I'm not saying they'll go with this storyline, but it is a way to incorporate Trunks and stuff like that. The only negative about this timeline is the fact that this is a time when Goku didn't even have Super Saiyan 3, or they didn't have Super Saiyan God powers and stuff like they have now. So I'm not saying that they'll do this, but I'm saying that timeline is that Babidi is able to clone people. That is the important thing, guys. Babidi has the ability and powers to create clones, guys. Android 21 right now, Dr. Gero and Babidi team up, and they use Android 21 as the catalyst. Dr. Gero says, I got this android, I'll activate her. Boom, he activates her, but she needs power. Babidi, cool, I'll create the clones. We got to fight the clones. She absorbing the clones. She right here having Super Saiyan 2, so he's able to help out in the fight a little bit better. We fight Android 21 with the clones and become line, and we fight Android 21 with the Trunks that has a new ability, Super Saiyan 2. It still leaves the door open for Goku Black. Still leaves the door open for it, guys. I think that's super interesting. I think there's a chance of something like that. I don't know, just putting it out there about stuff that's in the game, guys. Just putting it out there. This would be a very good storyline. That would be a good storyline. We start here, we go back in time because we get somebody alert. Trunks is brought back at the end of the game, which is after the Buu saga. We know that Trunks has already killed the androids, because if not, do you really think he would have came back to the future? No. He would have been like, I got to get back and take care of this timeline. Clearly, the androids have already been destroyed, so it's after that time. But here's another interesting point. In Trunks' timeline, Buu has been 784, which means at age 774 794. I'm sorry, 794 is when Babidi died. In this battle, he tells them that he was gathering energy from Majin Buu for 10 years, okay? At age 784 is the time that Trunks used the time machine to come to this timeline to warn them about the androids and stuff. So Babidi, even in Trunks' timeline, the time that he comes here to the present to warn them and fights Frieza and King Cold and all of them, too, with Trunks, we come back to this timeline where Android 21 has teamed up with Dr. Gero and the Babidi of this timeline. That's one storyline. Babidi creates the clones. Android 21 absorbs the clones. She becomes the Majin form, and we go from there. Then, of course, Trunks would have to go back to, it still leaves it open for Trunks to meet Goku Black by going back to his timeline later. This is one timeline, guys. I'm not saying that this will work. I'm just presenting some evidence for it. One thing that's not going to happen is Android 21, the story, if Android 21 is the main thing, it's not going to work out the way like it worked out in Fighters, simply because in that storyline, I mean, they revived all the villains on New Namek with the Namekian Dragon Balls. There's another comparison. Both Babidi and Android 21 used the Namekian Dragon Balls. New Namek is currently in the game. Like this idea, subscribe to the channel. Guys, turn on notifications, because I have more different possible scenarios that could work for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot that would not only deliver fresh new content that's exciting, but also give us some of the things that we want, like transformations for Trunks. And hit that like button, comment down below, let me know what you think. That's all I got for right now. Till next time, thanks for watching. Peace.